Oh, good grief. This is the most stupidest thing I ever read. Oh, man. Really, Sony? Really?
Hello guys, it's NautoAce, and this is an update follow-up on my thoughts on Data Live Rio-Incarnation getting delayed. So at that video, I kind of sort of give my theory about it, and one of the theory is that the delay could somehow be Sony's censorship, or some people call it Sony. Their censorship BS problem since summer of 2018, could even be spring of 2018, but I've been talked to that already. So the thing is, the update apparently that one of my theories said it could be Sony, like I said, because of Seren Kagura version renewal was delayed because they had to remove the anti-syncing mode. So this might be leaning towards Sony's censorship of why it's delayed, because there was an update news on the Idea Factory International website on Data Live Reincarnation that it'll have a digital art book feature, which basically a robust gallery mode with all the CG scene. And of course, if you know Data Live or any Idea Factory game to some extent, they're kind of fan servicey. Mind you, this game is rated M. It's rated M. The ESRB gave an M-rated game for partial nudity and sexual suggestive theme. I think that's what it is. However, apparently one of the news, gotta give credit to one angry gamer for breaking the news, finding this out, and then I went to the website like, oh shit, excuse the language, yeah, it is true, is that on the PS4 version of the digital art book gallery, 5 CG scene will not be included. Like, they won't be included. However, Idea Factory International was nice enough to show sample what they are. And one of the scene was the modified scene in the game for Reincarnation. Yeah, it's not going to be on the digital book. They just blatantly removed it. Like, it's already been modified and you still want to remove it? And 4 scene that I see, yeah, they're fan servicey to some extent, but it's not a big deal. But fracking Sony, excuse the language there, fracking Sony, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh, wow, partial nudity, wow. Are they underage girl while they are in high school? Like, oh my gosh, wow. I know I'm a guy, so you might say, oh, you're a guy, that's what this is your opinion. I mean, it is what it is, I can't do anything about that. But, oh good grief, really? So, not only 2 CG scenes from Rio-Incarnation is going to get modified, the digital art book will be gutted on the PS4 version, and yeah, that sucks. But I gotta give hands to Idea Factory International, so props to them for being super transparent to the situation. And you might say, is it that jeopardizing their relationship with PlayStation America or Sony Interactive Entertainment of America? Possibly, but it's always good and well respected when a company is being full transparent to the consumer. So, again, the reason of why the game got delayed, again, most common sense is, hey, look, localization, improvement of the game, we need to improve the game, need more time, i.e. Shimune X3 got delayed to November. According to the developers, they needed more time to fix the game. Again, that's most common thing. A delayed game is always good. A bad game will always be bad. Quote to Miyamoto. But in this situation, it's almost similar to Seren Kagura Burst Renewal, that they delayed the game because they had to do a negative update on the game, basically removing stuff. And that's not something easy. It's not just, pull out, we're done. You have to reword the coding for that one to basically make it work. You got to put a code that said, this particular, let's just say this picture cannot be on the digital art book. And that's coding. That's time. That's wasting. You don't put money in to remove stuff, but thanks to Sony's stupidity, this is what's happening. Burst Renewal basically have to put more money in to remove a mode because it's Sony. And yes, normally you kind of remove content before the game's release, and that's an old thing that's been happened many times, such as, of course, Fire Emblem Fates with the touching with your teammate, the breast changer adjustment for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Of course, even prior to that one is Four Swords, the Tetra mode. They removed that one. Heck, let's go all the way back to the PS1 era, the 32-bit era. Rival School, one of the mode on the bonus disc for the PlayStation 1, they got rid of it. Yes, when you remove stuff from its original content from the Japanese, that actually, like I said, costs money and coding. A lot of time, push, cut to shove, they got to do it. And normally when that happens, it's the ESRB basically stepping in. And I said it before, I'm going to say it again. When the ESRB say, you can't have this, you can't have that. If you want that a T-rated game, then you got to remove something. If you want that an M-rated game with that content, that's fine. When the ESRB basically are the one that's telling you, hey, what's good and what's not, I got no problem with that. Everybody has no problem with that because that's the government. That's how you regulate video game, the ESRB. But when stupidity Sony trying to, let's one up the ESRB, if the ESRB say that's okay, I don't think we're not. We're going to be try, quote unquote, be the better person, and we're going to be good for the children. That's what they always say, because who knows, maybe Sony loves children. Yeah, you know what? Use your imagination for that one. But the bottom line is, that is stupidity there. If the ESRB said, and they don't tell you to remove it, and that's the thing also what people might get the wrong idea. The ESRB doesn't tell companies or the video game company to, oh, you got to remove that, you can't have that, etc., etc., etc. They say, okay, say, a good example here is Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. One of the trophies from Fire Emblem Awakening, Traja, I think that's her name, she wears something like, kind of like a kinky outfit. I mean, she's covered up, but to some extent, it's like a transparent clothes, blouse, and she's a trophy there. They showed that one, and the ESRB just said, well, here's the problem. If you include that trophy on Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, you just have to put the game T ratings. That's what they're saying. They didn't say, oh, you can't have that, that's a no. No. They just said, if you put that character there, it's a T rating. But of course, they removed it because Nintendo want the game to be E for 10. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The Zero. Not ESRB here. The Zero. Nintendo of Japan wanted the game in Japan Zero A. But according to the Zero, oh, look at Palutena's clothes, her basic blouse. Remember her cut is basically on the waist? They said, if you're going to leave that, that's going to be a Zero B. Nintendo said, no, we want it to be a Zero A, so they had to modify that. Again, Zero, ESRB, if it's been regulated, nothing wrong with it. It just kind of sucked to some extent, but, you know, push to shove, you can't do anything about it. Because if you're trying to aim it for a particular rating, there you go. Okay, now let's move it with Sony, or Sony. Date Alive Rio-Incarnation. It's already M-rated. The game is M-rated. And M stands for mature rating or mature adult. Meaning, somebody who's 17, maybe 16 and a half, 17 and above is for they're the one that's playing this game. Can a teen play this game? Sure, with the consent of somebody who's 17 or over. And that's the parent's decision, not Sony. See, and from what I heard, the ESRB, they have no problem with the content from what they showed for M-rated. M, there's a reason why it's M, mature, adult. Yeah, there are times when an M-rated game has to be also toned down. Case in point, believe it or not, Criminal Girls for the Vita. Yes, people might say, oh, it's censorship. No, actually, believe it or not, it's sadly to say, The reason they in this America had to do with criminal girls, so to maintain that M rated in the internet, I read this, is that even so they were trying to get an M rated, the people who rating this game said, yeah, kind of more go beyond AO, so we can't have you doing that. I need you to tone it down this, maybe do something about it. So then they had no choice. They got to do something about it. Again, regulation. M-rated. I mean, there was a story in Japan with one of the solitaire game or mahjong game. I don't even know. It was basically with a bunch of 90s anime girl, but if you win, they get stripped and they have nudity, from what I heard, and it's some M-rated game. Or in Japan, a 0D. However, after a while, apparently the developer were not transparent, and the Japanese Zero said, the Zero system, the Japanese ratings said, yeah, that's not a D rating, that's a Z, which is basically equivalent to AO. So they had to pull it, fix the game to make it M rated or D in Japan. So yeah, there have been times when the regulations say you got to remove it because to have it that mature rating or D rating. But again, going back to Data Live, Rio-Incarnation, it was already been M rated. From what I heard, the ESRB had no problem with the content. It was just Sony saying, yeah, we don't want that, we don't want that. We don't want those girls naked. Oh, man, I can see lots of skin. We don't want that because we're for the children, because we love children. Sony loves children. The CEO of Sony probably loves children. Yeah, use your imagination for that one. Sorry. It's kind of irritating if you know what I mean. So anyway, again, props to Idea Factory International for being transparent. So basically, I've been rambling about this, and you still notice the graphics. Yes, what you're seeing here is basically an article from Idea Factory International. Links is on the description box about what's going to happen or what's happening. And what's happening is, I guess they were keeping this a secret to some extent about the digital art book gallery, but apparently because that's the reason probably it could delay it, and that's probably what's leaning to censorship, is that according to Idea Factory International, and let me read this verbatimly, in order to include this art book feature in the game, i.e. the PlayStation 4 version, 4 pages from the art book will not be included in the PlayStation 4 version. There you go. And 1 page will feature one of the 2 modified CGs. Okay, so before I continue, I'm having a hard time understanding this second part here. 1 page will feature one of the 2 modified CG scenes. So I'm guessing basically one of the other modified CG scenes they're not going to put it in on the gallery or the art book. That's what I'm guessing. So it's really 5 of them because they kind of show the picture there. But let me continue. The Steam version of the game will include all the original art from the Japanese release. So again, because Steam, for strange reason, they have no ratings board for Steam. I kind of confused about that one, but whatever. They have their own problems. They were banning games that are 18 plus. They're being like back and forth, wishy-washy, but that's a different story there. The game will launch physically and digitally for the PlayStation 4 on July 23rd in North America and July 26th in Europe. Okay, you know the date. That's the new date from the delay. Steam version will also launch on July 23rd. And I said it before, I said it again. Parodied because you don't want one basically getting an advantage of the other. Kind of makes sense there. So, again, 4 pictures from the art book completely removed for the PlayStation 4 version, and one of them is the modified CG scene. Of course, now what you're seeing now next here, and I'm probably gonna do during the summer, but there'll be a different story there. My plans is that what you're looking here is the 5 sample picture that's gonna be released on the Steam version, but not on Sony's platform, PlayStation 4. I mean, to some extent, yes, they're questionable. They're fan service. You're seeing a lot of skin, and especially if you notice one of the picture there, you see a pretty lady, butt naked, taking a shower. Why? I don't know. But that's Idea Factory, that they're known for fan servicey. And it's weird because in the past, Sony was allowing it, or they just don't mind. All of a sudden, like, we're number one. Now we're going to be Sony and basically be douche about it. Excuse the language. And of course, the fifth one, I am going to assume is perhaps, maybe not, because I never really played, well, no one ever played Dead or Alive unless you're in Japan. I'm assuming that's probably part of the modified CG scene. Again, who knows? Whatever. We'll just have to wait and see when the game comes out in the end of July. So, yeah, so like I said before in my previous video that I said, maybe it's just localization reason why they're delaying the game. That could be still true to some extent, but the higher percentage probably is this reason of why the delay. They were probably keeping it under wrap, a surprise about, oh, guess what this game features? A digital art book gallery. And now, well, the surprise was ruined because Sony ruined it because they got to remove 4 pages of it. So, okay, so that's going to suck there. Now, before I end this, I seen a lot of people going back and forth. Of course, I'm on the side of bullshit, excuse the language, censorship, Sony, grow up, hashtag grow up, Sony. I better really stop saying the word Sony, but you get the idea there. Anyway, and there's some the other side that they say, it's not really a big deal. Why are you guys complaining? Just move on. Again, it's the principle. It's equivalent to buying, let's say, Batman Arkham Origin for the PS3 versus Batman Arkham Origin on the Wii U, which doesn't have a lot of features from the PS3 version. And they're selling it both for $60. I wonder which one you're going to get. The one with more content. Am I right? Yeah? You know, I mean, logic there. You better to your buck. More values, more content. So it's the same thing in here. So to anyone who basically say, oh, I don't mind this one, it is what it is, it's not a big deal. Hey, more power to you, to each of your own. Go support Sony's censorship if you want to. If you think they justify what they're doing, that's your prerogative. That's your opinion. You're going to be butting heads with someone. There's no agreement with here. Like, you try to convince me that one. I'm just going to say, don't take it personal. Kiss my ass. Because I'm in a group of censorship is bad. And if the ESRB said it's okay, why should you do more than the necessary or minimum that the ESRB said? That's the reason they exist. I mean, yeah, I don't understand that. See, that's why I'm so confused about it. So, but if you want to support the censorship, you want to buy the game in the PS4, but go ahead. Yes, for some people, maybe they don't have a choice. They don't have a strong computer in the situation with Dead or Alive, because there's not a Switch version yet. There's only on Steam. If you don't have a strong computer and maybe you're running a low tech, I do apologize. That may sound like kind of like a pot shot. I know it's not, but yeah, if you don't have a strong computer and your only choice to play this game in the PS4, by all means, cut your losses and buy it. I'm not really telling anyone to not buy it. I mean, all I can say here is that if everyone who's Idea Factory fan and support Dead or Alive, and we should really, in my opinion, band together to some extent, send a message. Maybe they'll turn it around, maybe not, who knows. I mean, it is a possibility, because look what happened with Microsoft in 2013 with their policy with the Xbox One. Bunch of horse crack left and right. It was just so stupid to a point that Don Matrix left, he was already leaving, that's why he probably didn't give a shit, excuse the language. To Microsoft had to go 180 to their decision. Everything they said, forget about it. Here, and here. And Phil Spencer had to fix the beliefs. He has to reverse the beliefs of what Microsoft in the past did. They wanted the Xbox One to integrate with Kinect. They wanted it to be required. What this Phil Spencer did, he removed it. They make it an option. Yeah, it's kind of sucks that now there's no reason to get a Kinect, but it was dumb. The Kinect was not good. It was only good in the 360. But in the long run, it's just a fad. Okay, and I know I'm kind of trailing off there, but what I meant here is, what I'm trying to say is, if a D-Factor fan band together trying to send a message, maybe. But again, there are alternatives, like I said, Steam. But unless you don't have a strong computer, I feel for you. Hopefully, in the long run, there's a Switch version. Maybe, because E3 is around the corner. An Xbox version, maybe Xbox, the next Xbox Scarlet, Anaconda. I don't know what they're gonna call it. That's gonna be at E3. So who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. So in conclusion, here is it's kind of unfortunate that the delay. Maybe the reason is it was censorship, and there's still pictures. It kind of sucked, but the bright news is the Steam version is uncensored, had more content. Same price, maybe they'll even be nice and give you a 20% off discount. Plus, you really don't have to worry about this. It's a freaking internet. You can probably just find all this CG scene on the internet and save them and put them in your private folder, if you know what I mean. So, to some extent, to the end, it's Sony's loss. Sooner or later, they're going to say, okay, this is not working. I mean, look what happened with Devil May Cry 5. Thanks to Capcom's VIA update, they removed the censorship there because they're trying to censor a major game. That's not a niche. Devil May Cry 5 is more popular than Dead Alive. You trying to censor that game? Not working. Look what happened. They reversed it. So, here's another question. Cyberpunk 2022. Because there's a lot of nudity in the game, but it's part of the story. Is Sony gonna censor that? Say, oh, no, you can't have that. Or because, it's not anime, it's not girls, they're more old people, it's mature, it's an actual mature game. Then there's a double standard there. Because Metro Redux, apparently that's what it's called. It's a first-person shooter, but it's a remake of something. Apparently there's nudity in the game, and they didn't have a problem with it. And I know they said it's a case-by-case basis because they basically targeting niche, anime girl, waifu type games. And to me, to some extent, it's pissing me off so much. Excuse the language there. Yeah, it's a real shame that this is what's happening. Again, probably it is a censorship why it's delayed. Probably there. Well, we'll see what happens when the game comes out in July. With that, I'll see you guys later.